this moment in history, nationally, internationally, personally, locally, privately, all in yo facely. And so it'll be me, you, Miles, and the microphone in the final hour. And of course, you're invited in each segment of every day when I'm here. Unless I got, if I got the president on the phone, I'm probably not going to take your call, but most of the time I will. When I land that Trump interview, and trust me, I want that one. 800-920-1580. That's the number to call if you want to say a thing about a thing. Guess who's with us? It's every other Friday. My favorite Waymo executive, LOL, just kidding. He's a KBLA correspondent. He is the founder and president of ES Advisors, which is an electoral and public policy advisory group. And he's my friend, actually, even though we don't agree all the time. He's my pal, Ed Sanders. Good morning.
Good morning. You got me cracking up. I haven't had my coffee yet, and I'm cracking up. Way more executive.
Okay. All right. I'm just being stupid.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. How is life treating you? I'm not going to wait until the last second. What do you have going on that we need to talk about? Something we need to promote, something you're worried about, you're tracking. I feel like I give you 12 seconds at the end of the show for whatever's on the agenda. So let's flip the script on that.
Oh, I love that. I'm just optimistic about the new year, right?
Really?
I know 2025 has to be put in the rear view. That I know. But it's funny. I was in a conversation the other day, and we were kind of talking about the state of all things, and I think I shared this with you before. The as bad as Trump is, I don't really look at Trump. I look at our reaction to him, and to the point you were making in the opening, you start to see, when like in a sports analogy, if your back is against the wall in the fourth quarter, you kind of enter a different state of execution, a different level of play comes out in athletes and teams. And I think it's the same for us in as a community, right? And so as ridiculously horrible as Trump and some of the things that are happening or going on, it forces the good community to reach a different state of execution and find different strengths. And I'm starting to see it. You're starting to see it. And that's what I'm looking forward to this year, if I can open and be optimistic.
Yeah, I think that's great. I'm glad you opened that way. I think a lot about that just because the news is so overwhelming right at this moment that, I feel like it's super important to, to be consciously optimistic. So thank you for starting us off that way. To be consciously optimistic means no matter what is happening in the world, we make an effort to make sure we're, focusing on what we want, as Sahara would say, not what we don't want. The election season is off and running, Ed Sanders, for sure. And I gotta say, I was surprised when billionaire mall developer Rick Caruso said that he won't be running for governor or mayor. That actually shocked me. What about you?
It did. But, when you step back and you look at it, first things first. Let me get to this. I always question why he wanted to do it, and I guess I'm going to be selfish in sort of my own statement here, but I just have to say if I'm a billionaire status and I've got a yacht and all those sort of things, and at that age, being tied to the affairs of Los Angeles, no matter what, I'd probably retire and get out of town. So I got to give him a little credit just for even floating his name in that regard.
Okay. I can go along with that, Ed. But I mean, the thing about it
Right,
is,
right.
it's
I mean,
also,
all
but
of
it's
us are working
also an
hard every
ego.
day.
Yeah, but it's also an
Right, but
ego
if
trip.
you hit
It's
your
like
number,
my
you're going to retire.
legacy. Yeah, but we haven't been rich our whole lives. You know what I mean? His dad was rich. He's rich. Like, I think when you're that rich, why does Elon Musk do Doge? I think they're thinking of legacy. They want to be remembered. And also, when you can have any meal, any car, any house, most men or women, what thrills you? And I think legacy, putting your name on things, and, perhaps a civic contribution.
And okay, I'll go with that. I can understand that. I think ultimately, though, he was looking at two different seats, and I really don't think you can do that. I think you got to pick one, right? Like, we're not looking to elect, a king, and I think that's where the error was. If you're going to fix California, throw out what you want to do to fix California. If you're going to fix City of Los Angeles, throw out what you want to do to fix the City of Los Angeles. He seemed to be more focused on Los Angeles than governor, if I'm thinking back over his social media posts. But, I just, and the bottom line is, I don't think we would have elected a billionaire to either seat. And ultimately, I think all of his tests and all of his polls showed that.
Speaking
in
of
this era
electing
of the billionaire
billionaires,
oligarchy, we weren't going to do it.
Right. So why is Gavin Newsom campaigning against the billionaire tax? Is it because he thinks he won't win president if it passes? Or is it because he's buddies with the Gettys? Or do you think there's some political, impact or calculus that I am missing?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer for that. As you were laying that out, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, well, he's like over in Davos right now, speaking to the billionaire class. And
well, I mean, but Trump shut down his big speech, right?
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is he got on a plane and went over there.
Right. And he probably got more publicity by being shut down by the president than he would have if he had just let him speak.
Right. I think so. I mean, listen, I think the billionaire tax is one way to put it. I mean, every couple of years with the Democratic administration, we shift the tax code, back where corporate tax gives a higher contribution, and balance out to some degree the equity of who pays taxes and how. I don't understand why Gavin isn't supporting that initiative, but I'm sure it'll be revealed in time.
Indeed, it will. I think a lot is going to come out this year, more than we ever bargained for. Maybe TMI in the political world this year. I feel like I already know way too much about Trump's brain. More on that when we come forward. Ed Sanders is with me. I'm Dominique DiPrima. You're invited in at 800-920-1580 or in the YouTube conversation in the comments. Molly Bell is there. Reddy Samedi 6141 is there. P. Rod, which is Paul, is there. So you can jump in. They got a lot of great insights as well. It's KBLA 1580 on YouTube. We do have a lot to talk about, and we're going to do it today. I got time today, y'all. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hey, KBLA delegation, you know what's better than laughing? Laughing while celebrating the legends who made us laugh in the first place. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to present our annual Black History Month luncheon. And this year, we're honoring comedy greats, trailblazers who broke barriers, and funny bones at the same time.
You had to grow up early when we was growing up because your parents were seen to the store to buy. You was too young to buy. I want you to go to the store, get me a fifth of gin and a pack of cigarettes. Mama, I'm 2, they ain't gonna let me have that. Here, take this note. You be a little boy walking down the street with liquor and cigarettes. And your neighbors be going, that's a good little boy right there.
We need a little levity right about now. So we're rolling out the red carpet for comedy royalty. D.L. Hughley, Melanie Camacho, Earthquake, Lunel, Dion Cole, Martin Lawrence, and a surprise guest appearance. It's going up Thursday, February 26th in downtown LA at the Grammy Museum. An unforgettable afternoon of stories, celebration, and yes, plenty of laughs. Because let's be real, these legends don't just tell jokes. They have changed the game, opened doors, and made history while making us smile.
You gotta go to child support court. You gotta get there real early in the morning. You see brothers going into court. You see them come out 3 hours later. I can't pay this. Let me talk to you, baby. Please, let me talk to the witness, Your Honor. Let me talk to the witness. Brother be working for 3 weeks, get his check is $43.
This year, for the first time ever, we have set aside a limited number of individual tickets for the luncheon. They are going to go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. So, if you want a single ticket, or if your company or organization wants to sponsor a table, move swiftly and get to KBLA1580.com right now. All these comedy giants in one room on one stage at the same time? Stop it! This event is going to sell out quicker than right now and sooner than at once. KBLA Talk 1580's annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 26th at the Grammy Museum. It's gonna be legendary, just like them.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
You got to laugh the pain away.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, we're back to me. We're back to Ed Sanders, Miles Lowe, and you. 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in. Okay, so since you used a football analogy, Ed Sanders, we are down to just 4 teams, right? Left this NFL season.
Yeah, big weekend coming up.
Big, really, really big weekend. And I was I'm not going to say kind of. I was really sad that the 49ers, fell. They look like they might make it through. Shut up. Don't laugh. But the thing about it is, I have decided, and much to the chagrin of my native LA friends and my San Francisco family, that I can be a fan of both California teams. Well, not all California teams, the Rams and the 49ers.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I was getting, my brother was going in on me because, when the Raiders come to town, I put my Raider shirt on, because I'm still an old Raider fan. And I don't even know how anymore, but growing up in LA, my age, the Raiders were the squad. But I've grown to love the Rams again, and That's part of it. Part of it, I think, you think about it, the Rams left for such a long time, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
You see people's allegiances shift around, but now they're back. And so, for the most part, I think they're winning L.A. over.
Okay, here comes Miles. He doesn't care where he goes. He's a Philly fan.
No, it's not that. I'm curious. What's your opinion on this, Dominique? 'Cause my mom said the exact same thing. I'm from California. I can root for the Niners and the Raiders. I'm like, but what about the Warriors? What about the Kings? What about the Chargers? What about all the other California teams? What about the Clippers?
But it depends on your personal relationship with the team. I grew up with the 49ers. Me and my brother waited in line in the cold to get. Well, mostly my brother did. And then I'd go with them to get tickets, to sit in nosebleeders. I grew up with the 49er dynasty, right? I love my 49ers, but I've been adopted by LA. And so, and I even got taken to a Rams game. They threw me a football. Sherry keeps giving me Rams gear. I feel like, just like the city of LA has adopted me, the team has. But I'm still always going to love my 49ers. I never started watching basketball till I came to LA, so Laker fan, not Warriors. Sorry, Mariama. sorry, Alex. Sorry, Rudy. Go ahead, Ed.
I was all right with the Warriors when the Warriors were winning. They weren't, I didn't like them, but I didn't hate the Warriors. And, a lot of it was when the Lakers won the titles, we didn't have to go through the Warriors in the West to get
true.
there. Right?
That is true.
It's not like San Antonio or Houston, Utah. Those teams I don't like. And the Warriors, we never played them in a real series that mattered growing up. That's for sure.
I mean, it's right. It's not like Giants, and Dodgers.
Yeah.
I was never a big baseball fan. This is a Dodger town, My brother is so mad at me about this, but I watch baseball more here than I did at home. So, but those two teams, you're not allowed to like both of them. You have to pick a side.
You also can't like the Rams and 49ers either. You got to pick a side.
I can, because I am not just the queen of Black Talk Radio. I am the queen of urban peace.
You get in every hood.
Bloods and Crips, Rams and Niners. If Ed, how do you get away with it? Miles says no, you can't.
You can't in the NFC West, right? And I'm taking enough grief just being a Raider fan, but the Raiders and Rams don't play each other every year.
Right.
The Niners see the Rams twice a year. You can't, and quietly, I kind of like Seattle, but that goes back to the Pete Carroll, Marshawn Lynch. I like that team, but this weekend, I can't wait to see, the Rams roast the sea chickens. It's that they play them too often. They're in the division. If the Rams are out of it and it's, the 49ers against Philly, I root for the 49ers for sure. Everyone.
Well, Kwamel agrees with Miles. He says if you grew up in a city with all pro sports, their teams are who you root for. But Miles is a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and he comes from Vegas.
Well, the Raiders just got there during COVID, though. I spent my whole life as a Philly fan. I didn't switch. That's what I'm saying. I didn't switch.
No switching sides. But I didn't switch sides. I just expanded my portfolio of love.
Got you. Sophisticated taste. I got it.
This seems stupid considering all the stuff going on in the world, but I actually was agonizing over this because my friends from the Bay, what? I saw you in a Rams jersey. What? That's heresy. But, but then again, when they come visit, they sure have a great time in L.A. Anyway.
I mean, you got Money B doing your opening, so you're still Bay Area,
Right? Faux life. Wait. Anyway, today, this weekend, it's the Patriots and the Broncos, and the Seahawks at the Rams, right? Or Seahawks and the Rams. So obviously, it's Rams. I don't know.
Yeah, obviously.
What about the other game? To me, it's not. Come on, LA.
The other game is like two teams I don't like. I hate the Patriots and I hate the Broncos. I don't care.
Hate is a strong word, Ed. Hate is a very strong word.
Yeah. I mean, look, those were always the teams that KBLA family will understand this. There's certain teams that when they won, let's just say Confederates cheered harder.
Yeah,
and the Patriots were one of those.
I grew up not liking either one of those teams either. Miles, who you got in these two games?
It's really a pick'em NFC. I would put money on Seattle Seahawks personally.
Boo.
Yeah. I have no dog in the fight though.
Because you're a mercenary. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think that I think it'll be Seahawks versus Patriots in the Super Bowl and get that rematch. And I ultimately think y'all may not want to hear, but I think Seattle walk away with the title this year, y'all.
Well, I'll take them over the Patriots. At least it's West Coast.
All right, there we go.
Ed, you want to make a prediction since Miles did?
Yeah, the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks, and then they're going to beat the Patriots. It's real simple.
That sounds good. Super Bowl title for LA. Shoot.
The Super Bowl's in the Bay this year.
We're going to have a Dodger Ram year. It's what we need.
Yeah.
We deserve two titles in a year.
Exactly. We do deserve it. We work hard around here. You got to work hard to live in LA. You need 2-3 jobs.
See, Miles, you weren't here in the 80s when the Olympics were coming. We had the Lakers, we had the Dodgers. Everyone was winning in the 80s. And so we got the Olympics coming back again.
Well,
so
I mean, the 49ers were winning then, too. Need I remind you? But anyway. Ed, did you sign up?
Between Raider Wing.
Did you sign up for your Olympic ticket lottery?
I did. And how did you feel about that? I really didn't enjoy that. I was like, God, I'm just in a random queue.
But it gave you choices of what sports you wanted to see. I found it exciting because I've never done it before, and I've never been to an Olympic event before, and other than LA '84 local things or whatever, but not to an actual Olympics, match, and I was excited about it. I signed up for boxing and basketball and gymnastics and what else? All the stuff I love. Oh, track and field, my faves.
I signed up too, but it's funny, as I clicked off, I didn't feel good about it, right? Like,
really? Why?
It's like playing the lottery ticket,
you want it, yeah.
Right, I bought the lottery ticket, but I'm not going to win.
But you're the guy who collected all the pins, right? You said when the Olympics were here last time.
In '84, yeah.
I was little Ed
Sanders.
I
had the bug in '84. I mean, I was a kid then, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was the Sam the Eagle thing, if I remember, that was the mascot, and everyone was doing those little pins. But that was, I don't know, LA, '84 felt different than it does now. I think as it gets closer, I'll feel more excitement. The Olympics are always like that anyway.
Yeah.
But,
right, if they don't get canceled by the president. Anyway, we got news, traffic, and sports. Then we'll continue our conversation. You're invited in. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. AAA is warning folks to get ready before the winter storm hits 33 states from Texas to New York this weekend and be prepared for frigid temperatures, snowy and wind conditions. Be sure to have a vehicle emergency kit if you have to travel.
So that means the basics. We also think about jumper cables, a first aid kit, a flashlight with fresh batteries in it.
It all begins today with forecasts of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. A federal judge seems inclined to stop construction on the new White House ballroom. The case centers on whether President Trump has constitutional authority to tear down the east wing of the White House, which has already been done, and build a $400 million ballroom with zero congressional approval. And Tiana Taylor is up for another Best Supporting Actress award. She says she's beyond grateful to be nominated in the category for her role in One Battle After Another. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers and Clippers generated a playoff atmosphere last night for a sellout crowd at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. After blowing a 22-point lead in the third quarter and a 14-point lead in the fourth, the Clippers kept their composure and held on for a 112-104 win. The Clippers are 14-3 since December 20th, the best record in the NBA during this 4-week stretch. After a 6-21 start, the Clippers are now 20-24, a game ahead of Memphis for the 10th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Kawhi Leonard, who missed the previous 3 games with a sore left knee, led the Clippers with 24 points. Luka Doncic had a game-high 32. LeBron finished with 23 points and 6 assists. This run the Clippers are on is something special. Last night's outcome made it official. There are now 2 NBA teams in LA to get excited about this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
They call it progress, but progress has a price. Land once held in black hands, taken, stolen, erased. Acres paved into highways, fields burned. Homes replaced by parking lots and broken promises. Every deed lost was a dream deferred. We talk about millionaires, but what about the millionaires that never were? The farmers whose soil was seized. The families who watched their inheritance disappear. The wealth that never had a chance to grow because its roots were ripped from the ground. They took the land, but never the legacy, because the soil remembers, and so do we. Every story matters. Our mission is to collect, preserve, and amplify these stories. If this is part of your family's history, visit blacklandlost.org/share your story and help bring us closer to justice.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DiPrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for waking up with Ed Sanders and Miles Lowe. And, okay, so look, we got a lot to talk about, but Miles says he's switching sides if Vegas gets a basketball team.
Yeah, I'm jumping off the bandwagon for sure. I mean, I love the Lakers. I've been Lakers my entire life. I'm loyal to the Lakers through and through. But no, when I'm 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, I'm not going to be looking back at my kids saying, oh, well, I like the Lakers too, and when Steph Curry played for the Warriors, I like them. It's
you
like,
see
nah,
how he's
homie, once I
clowning me
became...
right now, Ed? You see how he's clowning me right now?
Yeah, he's got you good right now.
No, not at all. Not at all. But I do want to walk back saying I'm the queen of urban peace because there's so many. There's Connie Rice and Sister Cynthia from Watts and Mama Boo. And, I'm not the queen. I'll be like one of the princesses of peace. Okay, how about that? I don't want to take anybody's, I don't want to take any valor. No stolen valor. Anyway, Ed.
I was gonna say there's room for a lot of queens in that space.
Yeah, we need all the queens. For sure.
We need all that we can to keep the peace. So,
yeah. Speaking of your hometown, Miles Lowe, a retired police officer, an LAPD officer, apparently got arrested for a hit and run near the "Welcome to Vegas" sign. His name is Edward Diaz. He was 77.
Is he drinking?
Apparently what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas.
Is he drinking?
I do not know the answer to that. It doesn't say, but I bet yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Not funny, but okay.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, it is kind of, I'm sorry that, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's the strip. That's by the clubs and by the bars and everything. I know exactly what that's at. Like, you might have pulled out the bar and hit somebody.
I'm sorry that he killed someone. I'm sorry that he ran away. But, L.A. cops going to Vegas to turn up is kind of funny. Silence from Ed.
Sounds like, everyone goes to Vegas to turn up. But,
I guess that's fair enough.
It's unfortunate. I get it. It's a cop. You shouldn't do it.
Hello.
Much like, he's gonna face all the punishments back home as well. You know what I mean? He'll have to deal with that.
Well,
and probably end up losing.
Yeah,
his job.
No, he's retired. He's 77. So.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Might not have seen him.
Then he needs to get an Uber. You know what I'm saying?
Or
a Waymo. You know what? I can't with you guys. Yeah. So, okay. There's so much going on right now. It's almost like I don't know where to start. But what, Miles? What did you just say? Why are you laughing? What is happening? What am I missing right now?
I'm saying, I was just joking in here, man. I think he probably didn't even know he hit anybody till he got home.
Dang. You know what?
I did what? The person?
Okay.
Dragged him all the way.
It's my fault I brought it up. Yeah.
Now we're out there cracking jokes about it.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace to whoever got hit. Yeah. Anyway, there's so much going on. It's making my head hurt. Luckily, we have open phone lines in the final hour of the show. But one of the cases that things that happened that really, really, I think is a sign of things to come was the 3 people arrested at that church protest in St. Paul. And then, they had tried to charge Don Lemon, who was covering it, and the Department of Justice went for it, but a judge said no, at least so far, which is pretty rare, apparently. A judge in Minnesota said, nah, you're not going to charge this guy for doing his job. And I know a number of other journalists in Minnesota that were concerned that they could be next if Lemon was charged. Meanwhile, one activist who's a member of the school board, but also a member of Black Lives Matter Grassroots, the Twin Cities chapter, Chauntyll Allen, and then civil rights attorney Nekima Levy Armstrong were both arrested. And they've been since been released, but they are being charged with some pretty serious charges. And on top of that, Attorney Armstrong, they altered the picture of her that was taken while she was being arrested to make it look like she was crying, when in reality she just had a determined look on her face. It's just, the fact that they're trying to say you can't protest in a church. number one. The fact that the feds are targeting protesters, civil rights attorneys, and members of school boards, and the fact that then they add insult to injury by trying to make her look like she's crying and darkening her skin, which is, it's just all so despicable. What do you make of that stuff, Ed?
Let me start with the Don Lemon side of it. I mean, I think he's an easy target for the administration just to mess with. Whether it goes anywhere or not is almost beside the point. I think, and in some ways, honestly, I think Don enjoys this. Right? It gives him still a platform, and he's gonna keep that going. So that one to me is hard to just to pay much attention to. I don't know that that's going to go anywhere. The Nekima Armstrong piece is more severe because I can't. That's not a media ploy. It's really using the Justice Department as a terrorist, really. Like it is. We said this a couple weeks back, but it feels like we're in a Star Wars movie, and the Empire is, as heavy-handed as it wants to be. And, in this case, you've got the Department of Justice, squashing or trying to stamp out or dissent and protest, right? And that's really what's most troubling is because you're standing up to what's going on, you're now facing legal troubles and jail time and that sort of thing. And so that one worries me, and I do watch that to see how it plays out.
But the thing about the Don Lemon thing, sure, he's going to use it. I mean, if the Trump administration targeted me, I would use it too. And by the way, if they say I committed suicide in custody, they're lying. I won't be doing that. But it worries me not because of Don Lemon, although, I do like him, but because they are going to start targeting journalists, just like they've been targeting networks. They've been targeting networks with these multi-million-dollar lawsuits, and they could come after you. They could come after me. They could, levy charges at Tavis or anybody to shut down voices of dissent, even if they're not. I mean, Lemon is pretty mild. He's not exactly a progressive journalist. He's a liberal and a high-profile one, but to me, that's very problematic.
I mean, look, I don't disagree with you, but Don Lemon is more theater to me than anything else, right? And maybe I'm overlooking the seriousness of it, but because it's Don Lemon, it feels like more theater. I do understand and see what you're saying, and you are right. I would argue that I'm not sure the corporate media is standing up to him anymore. I feel like they have been they've acquiesced to the pressures that he's put on them, and so they're kind of continuing that. And so when you see these stories continue to be put forward, I'm less getting my news from the main corporate media now, and we're looking at these stories from other angles, and so I'm seeing what's happening. Don Lemon isn't in my feed, but
he's
Armstrong,
in mine.
Armstrong is, right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, Jerry Anderson in the chat says you can't protest in a church. The rest of that stuff is up for grabs. I do not agree with that. Nobody can tell you where you can protest. That's the whole point of protesting. We don't follow the rules. We protest to disrupt, and that pastor works for ICE. So as far as I'm concerned, if an ICE member is in that church, then you can protest is leading that church. You can protest in that church. Your thoughts?
I tend to agree with Jerry there. I don't favor disruption of people's right to practice their religion. And I may not see the connection there. If it was in the middle of a church service, no, I don't think you should be able to do that. if the church is hosting an event, that's a different story. And I don't know what the facts were around why women was in the church.
Well, he was covering
Right.
the protests. He was covering the same protest that was being led by Attorney Armstrong. So, I mean,
Were they in the middle of a church service?
yeah, but the guy is an ICE official. The lead pastor is an
Yeah,
ICE
but
official.
if-
I'm sorry. If you say you can't protest in front of a church, then where does that end? That's a very If you can't protest at a church, that's a slippery slope. You can protest.
He was in the church.
Yeah. hmm You can protest where you want to
Yeah.
protest. I don't agree with that
Yeah, no,
analysis
I
at all.
don't agree. I because I think we would look at it differently if there was a far right news media outlet walking in the middle of one of our churches to protest.
I
a
wish they
civil rights bill.
would. I wish they would.
Right.
We would shut it down.
Right.
It doesn't matter. I still say they have a right to do so. They can come in and protest.
Yeah, I don't
Come
think
on.
you can
See,
interfere with people's
F around and
practice of
find out.
religion, though.
That's probably not appropriate language for a church, but you
Talking
get,
about practicing religion.
you get what I'm saying. They ain't coming in.
You
Well,
send them to God, huh?
yeah, exactly. That's a no for me.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, we can agree to disagree, Ed. It won't be our first time, and it will not be our last.
No, but I mean, like, this is the American debate, right? Like, you've got two fundamental American rights colliding, right of the free press and right of free religion. Where do you side?
You
That's why
still have
judges
freedom of
matter, right?
religion if someone's protesting. If someone comes and protests
No, not
in
if
my
they're
church, I'm gonna
interrupting
pray
your-
for them.
Not if they're interrupting
No,
your
we
church
just
service.
we how can they interrupt church service? That's between you and God. I'm a pray for their wayward behinds. The power of God is greater than the power of J.D. Vance. Come on into my church anytime. Let's see what happens. Maybe you'll get saved. Maybe you'll see the light. Maybe the Lord will favor you with releasing you from the devil's grip.
I love it. It's I hope people call in. We should run a poll on this.
Yeah, we should run a poll on this. I think we will. All right. Well, we're going to continue this conversation. We have so much to talk about. I don't even know where we're going, but Ed Sanders is going to let us know when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Unwrap LA this winter with Metro. Whether you're heading to a family gathering or last-minute shopping, Metro's got you. Enjoy free rides across Metro on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Move with joy. Move with community this holiday season. Go Metro. Still battling a thirsty lawn that guzzles water and drains your wallet? Let LADWP turn that patch of grass into a gorgeous drought-smart garden for free. We're talking a full California-friendly landscape makeover designed and installed by pros at no cost to you. That's right, LADWP does the work, you get the upgrade. Ready to transform your yard and save big? Visit LADWP.com/leap. That's LADWP.com/LEAP.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. I mean, mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
Okay, well, first of all, an attorney friend of mine just texted me and said, no, it is a misdemeanor under Penal Code 302 PC in the state of California. Intentionally disturbing a meeting for religious worship through noise, profane discourse, or rude behavior can result in penalties, including up to 1 year in jail, fines of up to $1,000, or both. Well, what if I protest quietly and peacefully? Okay, apparently, I still disagree with the law, but apparently I am wrong when it comes to what your rights are. So we'll see where this goes.
It's always, religion is just one of those things that you don't get back, right? I don't play with people on their religion. I'll give you a space to worship, and then we can argue.
Well, you got space to worship, but when you're promoting evil, I rebuke you, as they say. Anyway,
But think about it, though. I mean, you've been in the prisons with us as well, and even it's not that it's just in the prisons, but even the real test of that sensibility is there are people that are devoted to worshiping Satan, right?
Yep.
And they can do that. They can buy a piece of property and do that, and frankly, in public areas, you got to devote that space. So.
If you say so. And I hadn't seen this. You sent it to me. That apparently LAPD officials destroyed text messages in order to avoid them being brought into a lawsuit. This is about the protests of BLM-LA outside the mayor's mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Which I remember those protests. I was at some of those protests protesting when Garcetti was mayor, and reportedly his wife called the police on the Black Lives Matter protesters 80 times.
Yeah, exactly. If I remember right, it was almost a daily occurrence, and good for BLM because the mayor at the time wasn't responding at all on any of the issues, and so what's rumored is they have video of the day, right? Like they have video of everything going on, and so you can actually see the officers texting on their phones. And when it came time for discovery, LAPD handed over. They were requested to send over all communications, right? Text messages, that sort of thing. And from the timestamp, you could tell from what was handed over that something was missing. And, you go back to the police officers that they see in the video, And one in particular, a captain, said he had a hard reset of his phone. He had to do that, and his, wife bought a new phone and that sort of thing, and that those text messages weren't available. But the rumors are that, they were coordinating how aggressive they were going to be with the protesters in that. And, that's material to that case. And so...
right. So the judge had initially said, yes, this is a problem, but then was considering it. And I guess, because the city kept asking the judge to reconsider, and Judge Teresa Traber, and I guess this week, she said, no, he probably did. He probably did. At least one officer probably deleted texts that would have helped Black Lives Matter activists prove their case.
Yeah, and to be clear, this isn't the first time, right? You see this in police text chains. You see this on Facebook threads and social media threads where officers are expressing themselves and how aggressive they want to be, particularly with Black and Latino community members. And it's an important statement that, an officer that deleted said messages is held accountable, right? And in this case, I think we're talking about a captain, someone in leadership. And so...
Yeah, exactly.
The public expressions of officers, really speaks to their credibility in court, right? And I think we offer all the time that you really just can't accept the word of an officer as a court officer, as a judge. You have to, okay, now let me weigh that up against the other evidence. But for too long, the justice system just takes the word of police officers, and we've seen a lot of pain inflicted that way.
Yeah, and apparently the body cams did bust them out this time. One shot, they zoomed in, and they were able to see that they were, in fact, texting about Black Lives Matter. And the city is supposed to be turning over another 1,000 text messages that they claim they missed. Of course, the attorneys are saying, what else is the city hiding? Doesn't look good for the city. And they also... Apparently, they caught the cops on tape. I never saw this before, calling Garcetti's wife, Amy Wakeland, the worst lady instead of the first lady, which is, not exactly professional behavior.
Yeah, they had a lot to go around on both sides that day.
Yeah, well, I guess the lawsuit, the civil trial will happen at the end of the year or early 2027, according to the LA Times. But that is an interesting story. It's so funny because people I know, who are experts on security say don't text stuff if you don't want it on the cover of the LA Times. And here we go. Tell it to the LAPD. You'd think they would know better.
Well, I'm going to keep police officers encouraging them, keep texting and expressing yourself, because it's the only way we can start to root out, the bad apples there.
Exactly. Keep texting Torrance PD. Keep texting LAPD. Let's show us how you really feel. Ed Sanders, tell him how to track you.
Well, we still have our ongoing project here, 2026. KBLA is going to figure out how to get me off of X and Twitter, but
I'm still
there at Edward Sanders. Yeah, get me off of there. I just use it for monitoring news, but I need a better way. So
at Edward M. Sanders, you can find us at KBLA 1580. I'm DiPrima Radio. Our poll is live on YouTube if you want to weigh in on whether or not you agree with me or the law on the protesting during church services. Time for news, traffic, and sports. Ed, thank you so much. Freedman Friday is next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. AAA is warning folks to get ready before the winter storm hits 33 states from Texas to New York this weekend, and be prepared for frigid temperatures, snowy and wind conditions. Be sure to have a vehicle emergency kit if you have to travel.
So that means the basics. We also think about jumper cables, a first aid kit, a flashlight with fresh batteries in it.
It all begins today with forecasts of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. A federal judge seems inclined to stop construction on the new White House ballroom. The case centers on whether President Trump has constitutional authority to tear down the east wing of the White House, which has already been done, and build a $400 million ballroom with zero congressional approval. And Tiana Taylor is up for another Best Supporting Actress award. She says she's beyond grateful to be nominated in the category for her role in One Battle After Another. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray